Okay, this is going to be a video tutorial about radio encryption and how you can find very cheap, effective forms of encryption on eBay and other used police radios. This is a This is a Motorola Saber, Saber 3. Basically how it works, Saber 1 doesn't have a display or the keypads. Saber 2 has the display and just these 3 red keypads. Saber 3 has full keypad, DTMF and other stuff if you have the older software that runs on DOS to program it. This has what's called a secure netboard, and secure netboard just means it has encryption or encoded transmitter on it. And you can tell this, number one, here's the without the battery. It's actually pretty small, fits my hand here pretty well. How you can tell, number one, dead giveaway, is you see this distance right here below the speaker. This is the mic and the speaker. You see this like little 1-inch gap here where somebody's written a number on. That's the extra room it needs for the module. The regular Motorola Sabers that don't have this will just look like this for my thumb up, just the speaker. Another sure giveaway is, it says right on top, it says SecureNet. Let me pull it back a little bit. It says SecureNet right there, and this is the toggle switch right here to engage. God damn, I can't see. To engage right here. And basically how Motorola works is that they have a circle with a line through it to represent their transmitted, encrypted or encoded, and then they have just a circle down there when you want to talk openly where everybody can listen. You can get these for about, you can get them $20 used, and you'll probably have a dead battery and broken knobs on the top. If you want to pay, if you find a really good deal like I did on these two right here, side by side with somewhat decent batteries and full antenna. They have VHF and they have like 1800 milliamp battery. They're so-so, they last pretty decent well. And I've got these two. Let me get the battery for it. Got these two over here. They didn't come with the antenna, they came with the battery. They were sold for parts, not working, and all it was is the battery was dead. Let me see if I can get this one to power up. Yep, here it goes. I don't know if you can see that. It says DPSA on there. It transmits. Now here's another thing with the Motorola's. They have to have a key loaded on them to be encoded. And you can lose the key by taking the battery off. These two already have it lost the encryption key because somebody took the battery out. I mean, you only have so long. You got like, I think it said on the internet, like between 5 to 15 seconds or a minute to 5 minutes, depending on how good the capacitors are in there. And that's how you lose the key. And how you know you've lost the key is, I'll show you here on there. Let me go macro and focus and light this up. I'll switch it on encoded. So I'll put this little side so it's putting with the circle with the line through it. And let me turn the light. If you go to key it up, it'll say key fail. That means you lost the encryption key. You fucked around and you took the battery out, or maybe when the department was decommissioning these, the guy just wanted to be a douchebag and take the batteries out. So you wouldn't have an encryption key. They have key loaders on the internet for sale. They go for about $300. Or if you find somebody that has a key loader and it runs on DOS and you can't use any kind of newer computer, it has to be like 1990s laptops, which are shit. So you got your Motorola Sabers here, and you have the more common Chinese version. It's called voice inversion. It's not really true encryption. This has a 56-bit encryption, and when you key it up, it sounds like static. If you don't have like the little chirp, they have. It's not like a Nextel chirp. It's just a Motorola. You can either have beginning of transmission, end of transmission, or both, depending on how you program it. But these have voice inversion, so you'll be able to distinguish. These are TYT THR2s, and they come with a voice scrambler, which is different from encryption compared to these. This is a lower grade. You'll be able to hear human beings talking. This will sound like it's just interference from from some kind of Part 15 device, like maybe air conditioner or something that has a CPU that's transmitting close. The only way you can even tell is because of the chirp at the beginning. Then you'll hear static, and then it'll be gone. And I'll demonstrate that real quick here to you. Got my police scanner on. I'll turn this one down, and I'll bring it over here. Okay, it'll give me an out-of-band transmission at first, but you'll hear the chirp pretty good. That was encrypted, and as you can see, all you can hear is static except for this chirp. That big, loud, annoying beep is the out-of-band transmit that the radio does, because it's not on a repeater, so it's not transmitting on one and listening to another. It's just going simplex, just transmitting and receiving all in the same frequency. Motorola doesn't like to do that with their stuff, so that's why you get that weird out-of-band chirp. Somebody programmed it like that. Now I'll transmit unencoded. I'll transmit it just plain talk, no encryption. You'll be able to hear me.
1 2 testing 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2.
So that's a pretty good. And this is what I'll turn the scanner down and turn this up on the other side, so you'll be able to hear it. I'll probably get some bad feedback, so it won't be all that great.
1 2 testing 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2.
Oh, that was actually unencoded. Let me go coded here. It'll sound a little bit different.
1 2 testing 1 2 1 2 1 2.
That's what your other person that has the same encryption key as you has, and they haven't taken the battery out. This is what someone's going to hear that's eavesdropping, the static that I showed you from before. I was just saying 1 2 1 2 over and over again. And let me go ahead and fire up. We got one working. These things, batteries die on them, so I mean they are tiny, and they work pretty good. So I'll put this on signal striker, which means it'll capture anything transmitting, and I'll run through the voice menu here to get my scrambler, where it says scram. It's off. I'm going to turn it on, then we're going to hit enter. And voice inversion, there's even free programs online where you can get a voice descrambler, which will make this pretty audible. I was just saying testing 1 2 1 2 YouTube video, but you can see how it's definitely not as good compared to just the static that you would hear from the 56-bit encryption. Now this encryption method that these have installed on here is called Digital Encryption Standard, DES for short, and then it has XL. I'm not sure what the XL stands for, but this is what government agencies required as a standard. And as you can see here, I put electrical tape on it so some dumbass won't try to remove the battery and I lose my encryption key. I gotta buy a keyloader for $300. These are programmable side tone buttons right here. There's like a 2-dot one and a single dot. I think that's for like a 1-tone or 2-tone page, like you'd hear over a fire station. A very large transmit button, and this is a squelch right here on the side.
Wind and sea impact, moderate to large swells up to 7 to 8 feet over the offshore waters will produce hazardous floating conditions for operators of small craft into tonight. Over the nearshore waters, small craft should exercise.
If you hold this down for a second, it'll give you full squelch. If you hold it down for a while and let go, it'll just constantly stay on until you tap it again, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's alright. I paid $56 for one of these, or no, I paid $65 for one of these, and the other one came with a battery charger for $85, which was a good deal. I think his name was Mad Scientist. He's on eBay. He always has Motorola stuff. But what we have here is the Quansing TG UVR2, I think. Quansing yeah, I think that's it. This is actually a tri-band. These right here only transmit on VHF. These transmit on UHF. This will transmit on VHF, UHF. It'll transmit on 2 meters. I mean, from 136 megahertz all the way up to like 174 megahertz. Has a built-in flashlight, which is pretty good. I mean, works pretty damn well. The buttons do wear out, but I bought a new buttons on eBay. You can transmit on 300 megahertz, 350 megahertz to 380 megahertz, 400 to 480 something megahertz. Has a K-style plug on it. I mean, it's a really good quality. And these have a spot where you can install a scrambler chip, not an actual encryption chip where you, like the Motorola's, you'll just hear static. It'll do voice inversion, and through free software on the internet you can actually descramble it really easy. All you have to do is plug your earpiece from your scanner or whatever you can receive the inverted voice on, and get a double male-ended jack, headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter jack, and plug your headphones into your microphone to your computer. Then all you do is you open up your voice descrambler software, which is out there. You'll see a little picture of he looks like Spy versus Spy guy, and it just, anything that's inputted into your microphone, you can run through the inversion and voice inversion to get to it. These have FM radios built into them. You can get I think these are programmable to 136 megahertz up to 174 megahertz. Really good quality battery. I mean, the battery on this thing is freaking huge. In my hand, you can look at there's a RF ground for hooking up an external antenna connector and shit like that. Commonly on these Motorola Sabers, the top buttons break. I'm going to make up some ones out of some 7075 aluminum. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and comment, and I'll try to help you guys out when it comes to encrypted radio. This video was done by I guess you call him vlogger, Gorilla Geek. Yeah, he always makes really cool videos, and I figure he might enjoy this. Maybe I'll post it as a response or whatever. But hope you guys like it. I'll make more if you guys want. Later.